Hey everybody, I'm going to do a strangely titled video, but I'm actually pretty much a believer in this concept, and it's basically called packing naked. All right, so we'll get into that here in just a second. So here's my bike. We're getting ready for Sturgis, and I've actually packed everything except for my wife's bag. So this is the way it's configured, and I'll get into specifics, and I want to draw your attention to the helmets on the back. Right, so the reason why they're there is because the concept behind packing naked is that everything that you'll need for your trip is on the bike. That means that the clothes that you wear comes out of the bags from the bike, right? So anything you pack is the only thing you wear, right? So from the very beginning, from day one, right? So that's a different kind of concept. And the reason why it makes sense to do it is because it prevents overpacking. And it also gives you the option to purchase stuff along the way if you need to. If you forget something that is critical, then you can absolutely pick it up and you still have room for it instead of trying to cram it into your bags or just having to leave something else behind or mail something away. Right? So now, when we actually ride, those helmets are on us, right? So this configuration that you see right here with the helmets on the back is at a complete stop when we're out doing stuff. We're walking around, we put on our sandals or our tennis shoes, and we're going to do some touristy stuff, whether it's go to stores or in this case, when we're gonna go up to Sturgis, we're also gonna go to Yellowstone, and so there's gonna be some trails. So we wanna make sure that everything that we have on us has a place for it and can be locked up and secured, right? So that's the concept. So I'm going to remove the helmets and we'll get into what's inside each of the different compartments, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so the helmets are off. Let me go ahead and show you what's on the inside of the tour pack. Now again, the concept is everything that we need for the trip will be on this bike. So we could literally walk into the garage, nothing on, throw everything on, and then be able to go. All right, so as you can see, we've got boots in here. We've got jackets in here. In fact, let me just take out my boots real quick. So boots, leather jacket, and chaps. We don't necessarily always go with rain gear. This is my wife's jacket, her chaps. The reason why we don't always go with rain gear is because we oftentimes have our leather jackets and our chaps with us, and that tends to be pretty solid from a rainproof perspective. Now my wife's jacket actually is waterproof, so she's already covered. She just needs some additional coverage on her legs. Me, I'm fine with the leather jacket for the most part. Worst case scenarios, we just pull off and stop earlier for the day. All right, and then it just goes in here and locks up. Okay. All right, so let me also point out that we have, let's see if I can get this to actually see, can't really see it very well. But basically we've got some side pouches in front of our bags, and then that's true on both sides. The one on the other side, what you'd call the passenger side, is basically for whatever my wife wants. This one includes some tools, and then also includes the camera gear, the GoPros and the batteries and everything that supports that. All right, so in here we have my bag. Let me go ahead and pull that out. And this is everything that I take on the trip. Let me get this cable out of the way. This is everything I take on the trip. All my clothes and my DOP kit and electronics that I'll need for the ride. Okay, we'll go ahead and break that open, and we'll take a look at that. So this is the contents of my bag. I'll go through it in a little bit of detail, but just to show you that all of this fits in that single bag. So I've got the jeans and the socks, just a pair of underwear, but basically that's what I'm going to load up. That's what I'm going to wear for the day when I get on the bike. There are additional underwear and socks, a couple t-shirts. Now, since we're going to Sturgis, we're going to be picking up more shirts. So really this is just to get us up there, and then we'll have some additional shirts to wear. I usually like 3 total t-shirts. With Sturgis, I'll be having 4, so I'll be picking up a couple. Then there is swim trunks and shorts, and I'm doing the Tivo sandals. That's what I prefer. And then in that box there, that's all my electronics. So basically, way to charge my phone, additional stereo headsets, basically, charging cables, and a power strip. And that's basically it. That's all I'm taking on the trip. Now, again, if there's anything that needs to be picked up along the way, you know, Walmart is just right around the corner pretty much everywhere you go. So I'll pack all that back up, and then we'll do a conclusion. Forgot to pull out one item. That's my DOP kit. It's basically just a travel pack. I got all the travel stuff. So basically toothpaste, toothbrush, travel size, deodorant, and then contacts for the ride. So that's it. So something else I should add. So this is basically a roll of quarters. That actually allows me to extend the use of my clothes. Basically, I've got 3 to 4 days worth of clothes, and I can use at the hotel rooms that we stay at. We can usually find a washing machine and dryer. So that's what the quarters are for, is to allow us to take advantage of a break, stop, get cleaned up, get our clothes cleaned up, and then head back out with clean clothes. So basically, instead of a 4-day week, we can do this pretty much indefinitely as long as we've got quarters. Cool. So let's go ahead and kind of conclude this. A couple other points I want to bring up is that all of my clothes and all my wife's clothes are dark. So you probably saw that in the video. And so it makes it easier. We don't have to worry about sorting or multiple loads. We just throw everything in, wash it the same. So that makes things a little easier when we're doing cleanup. And of course, I'm usually wearing a t-shirt and shorts and sandals when I'm doing that. So, that gets cycled through. We just get as many of the clothes cleaned as possible in one go, and then just the next time I wear swimsuit and t-shirt or pants, whatever, and then wash the shorts. So it all gets cleaned. It all gets cleaned on a regular basis. We're going to be gone for 2 weeks for Sturgis, and so that's the plan. That's what we've used in the past, and it works really well. Now, the other thing that people get a little concerned about is that there's a lot of empty space. So when we are on a trip, that tour pack is basically empty. We got the helmets on, so the top's clear. We have our jackets on. We do all the gear all the time. And not to have a philosophical debate, but that's just what we do. And then I just don't heal like I used to. So I don't want to run the risk. It's basically what it comes down to. But basically the jackets come out, the boots come out, the chaps probably come out. The chaps actually help with heat on the bike as well. I know a lot of people think that it would make it worse, but it actually helps a lot. Having the leather jacket on and the leather chaps actually makes things a little bit cooler than if I didn't have all that on. And that's a whole physics, thermodynamic conversation. So, but yeah, so when we're traveling, this tour pack has nothing on top and is empty, right? And so that actually helps with the weight distribution as well. I ride 2 up, so the wife's on the back, and so that provides additional weight up on top. And so basically we just have all our gear in the side bags. and then it's just us. And so there's no additional weight on the top to throw us off or make things inconvenient. Again, that concept has worked well for us. When we first started touring, of course, we packed everything. In fact, hold on a second. So I got another bag up there that goes on top of the tour pack. Basically, it just loads up on top here so that we have extra room to store stuff. And of course, there's the concept that if you have space, you'll find something to put in it, right? And so our first trip, we were really top heavy. And so we learned our lesson pretty quickly to go completely minimal as possible. And then also to, this configuration allows us to have less weight on top, lighter bike on the top, more stable, right? So we're also going to be, like I said earlier, we're going to be going to Sturgis. So we got, you know, all the trips there. Plus we're also going to Yellowstone. Plus we're going to be doing Beartooth Pass. So a lot of windy roads, and the more stability we have, the better it's going to be. We learned that also when we did the $1 million highway out by Durango. We were fine weight-wise and everything like that, but we realized there that when we're going to get into the more intensive twisties, we really need to make sure we're handling the weight correctly. And that's the best way to do it, is to have nothing in the top, because it's all packed there as if you were going to have nothing on you when you actually showed up to get ready to ride your bike. One other point I want to make is that what you did not see was a first aid kit. We always carry one. That's actually in my wife's bag, so we do have it. It's essential equipment for us. If my wife couldn't pack it, I would get rid of the camera gear, and then you would have no idea what we did on our trip to Sturgis. So, yeah, she always packs it with us, and it includes the basic stuff, plus some additional wraps and bandages and things like that in case there's something we come across. So anyway, that is it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. If there's enough interest, I can always load up my packing list. But as you saw, it was pretty simple, very easy to replicate. Plus, there's tons of minimalist packing videos out there. So, all right, thank you for your time. Please subscribe, comment, and thumbs up. Cool. Thank you very much. Talk to you guys later.